Welcome to the Aaron L Show, man. You must have been sleeping under a rock if you ain't heard the Young Thug interview that he just had about Gunna. But this video right here ain't gonna be about Young Thug saying that Gunna is a rat. I'm gonna tell you what I have noticed that I don't think a lot of people has paid attention to. Have you noticed ever since Young Thug can't be around Gunna because he feel Gunna's a rat? He got probation. Gunna got probation, and part of their probation is they can't be around each other. Have you noticed this nigga Young Thug music is trash? When you hear Thug, he don't even sound the same really like that no more. But then you hear Gunna music, Gunna on fire. Gunna music sounding better than ever. And Thug music just done took a nosedive. And you know what I concluded out of all that? Gunna was writing Thug music. Gunna was writing Thug music. This is why Thug music do not sound the same, because Gunna ain't writing his tracks no more. I'm pretty sure if you look at how hot Gunna is right now, how Thug is sounding like he's sounding right now, when they was in a studio collaborating, Gunna was helping Thug on a lot of them tracks. That's why Thug had that little flow like that. It sound just like Gunna's style. And Thug seemed like he can't mimic that style no more. How Thug lose the style, but Gunna still got it. Whenever you see something like that, that lets you know that cat was writing Thug music. That's why Thug really hurt. Thug saying, oh man, he betrayed me, this, that, and the third. Nah, what it really is this cat was writing your music, and you've been saying a little too much about him, and now Blood don't want to tap in with you and write no more tracks for you. You can't get close enough to him to get him to be in the studio like y'all was. Y'all in the studio 5-10 hours every other night. When you start writing something down sound boosty, he probably over there talking about, no, say this, Blood, say this. I used to rap. I done been in the studio with cats. When we drop some music, we want the whole click to sound raw. So when we hear the verse you done came with, we like, no, bro, say this right there, say this right there, say this right there, and then you say your verse over, you like, oh yeah, boy, that's on point. Yeah, so if you listen to Thug music, pay attention. Listen to Thug music since Thug got out of jail. And listen to Gunna music right now since Gunna been out of jail. Gunna is way hotter than Thug. Way hotter than Thug. I'm pretty sure Gunna, Thug put such a hard line. I'm pretty sure Gunna done wrote tracks for him. Thug here like, oh yeah, let me spit that one. Gunna spooked the Thug because they out here knocking fools down. He like, oh, I ain't tripping. Go ahead, bro. We family, bro. I ain't tripping on. You really tripping, but you just can't say nothing because, Thug get you lined up. You know what I'm saying? Like a taper. You know what I'm saying? So, that's why Thug probably was sounding better and better and better, because Gunna was getting better and better and better. And now you can't, you ain't got your secret weapon no more. That's why your music garbage. In an interview he said it, man. I ain't been putting on no music because I really ain't been feeling it, man. I ain't got my boys around me no more, my team. It ain't that you ain't got your boys and your team around you, bruh. You ain't got Gunna writing them hits. Gunna out here putting out music back to back to back to back to back. A lot of them tracks would have been yours. You would have heard a couple of them like, bro, let me use that one. Bro, I'm gonna bless you. Come on, bro. You just said you was taking care of his mom and doing all this. Yeah, you probably did it because that's your loved one. But at the same time, you probably did it because you owe them writers credits. So instead of having everybody in y'all business wrote by Gunna, you don't let Gunna get that part so nobody expose it. But at the same time, you fatten his pockets over Gunna really ain't got nothing to say, because Gunna know, like, man, I wrote the track, but Thug threw me 200, 300,000 and be throwing me 100,000 when I bought moms a crib and taking care of, so Thug probably was a real nigga and was looking out for his folks. But at the same time, quiet is kept. If you really peep, was Gunna really writing Thug music? Because Thug music don't sound nothing like it used to. I believe Gunna was writing his music, because if you hear Gunna music right now, Gunna is a creative writer, bruh. You hear the talent in his music. Why we don't hear that in Thug music right now? Thug ain't really dropped nothing. You thought for Thug to be a rapper, for him to sit in jail, long as he sat in jail, usually cats come home like that and hit the ground running. Look at BG. BG come home, BG writing his own music, whether he freestyling or whatever he doing. BG come on, still sort of sound like BG from 10 years ago when he hit the ground running. BG done probably dropped about 20, 30 tracks since he been on. Man, Thug ain't got 5 good ones out there. Because he probably was leaning on Gunna so hard, he ain't wrote music in a minute. And whenever he thought of something halfway decent, Gunna would give him a little bit and tighten it up for him. So he really ain't had to think about no music or do no music like that in a while. Gunna was taking care of all that. So this is my conclusion, but I think I'm the first person on YouTube that peeped that Thug really upset because Gunna ain't writing no more his music, man.